Tanza here. So I wanted to pop on and talk a little bit today about something that I hear a lot of clients ask me, a lot of students ask me. And that is, how do I tell if it's my intuition giving me a message or if it's fear? Now, there are times that we get intuitive messages that are like, you know, don't go there, or don't trust that person. But the best way to tell the difference between whether it's intuition or whether it's fear is simply by listening to it. See, our intuition is quiet. Our intuition says, don't trust that person. Something about them seems off. Or go that way instead. Where fear goes, I just feel like that person is blah, 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 blah. Or, you know, I don't want to get in the car today because it's going to be slippery out and it might be this, might be that, blah, 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 blah. If I say this will blah, 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 blah. It's very loud. Fear is very loud. If I follow my dreams, I might fail. And then I'll fail and then I'll have to move back in with my mother because I won't make any money and blah, 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 blah. Where intuition is more like, go try. What if? Intuition is quiet. It's gentle nudges, which is also why so many of us live our entire lives in a state of fear instead of allowing our intuition to guide us. Because as young adults, as children, we often take on the belief to listen to whatever is bigger and more assertive. When we're kids, listen to your parents, listen to your teacher. It's always to the biggest, the loudest, the most direct. That is what we listen to. So when we have ego, which is also a very, very loud voice in our head that says, don't do this because if you do, so blah, 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 blah might happen. We're more likely to listen to that than we are to listen to that calling or that push from our intuition going, now is your time. Try. It'll be okay. Just breathe. Those very simple messages that are our intuition guiding us each and every day, those are the things that we so often overlook. And when I'm looking at from a perspective of being a medium, you know, people like to think that my connection with spirit or their connection with spirit should be very loud, that it should be very just, you know, kind of like Hollywood shows it. Like it's clear as day. Like there's no way in the world you can ignore that. And we like to think that our intuitive messages come that way. But how many of you have times where angel numbers come to you or where you get a message through seeing an animal? It's gentle things. It's gentle nudges. It's, you know, a comment that somebody makes in conversation. It's the little things. Well, connecting with spirit is the same. Not very often. I mean, sometimes I get things that are really loud, but usually it's like, pop, there's a thought. And it's gentle. Or it's like, I feel like I need to call so-and-so. That's a message from my intuition. So if you're confused by what is an intuitive message or what is fear, always look at how loud it is, how detailed it is. Because as much as we would love for intuition to be very detailed, it typically is very simple. I can't tell you how many readings I've given for people where they've gone, well, how will I know? And the answer is, you'll know. Really? This is what we're telling them? You'll know? Yep. Because they will. They'll know. Or what if I make a mistake? There is no mistake. You can't make a mistake. As humans, with our ego, that's the last thing we want to hear. We don't want to hear simple answers like that. We want complex. But that is ego. That is fear. That is if we have a fear of failure. We want to be ensured that there is no way that we'll fail. Well, if you don't fail, you're never going to learn. You're never trying. So if you're at a point in your life right now, and I feel like somebody out there is, because there's a reason this theme is coming so strong today for me, that I had to come on and talk about it. And those of you that have been on this page for a while know that I haven't been live on here very often. So some of you out there need this. I trust that. So if you're at a point in your life right now where you're kind of looking in two directions, or where you're trying to make a decision and you don't know if it's your intuition giving you messages or if it's your fear, your ego, listen to how loud it is. How does it feel? Because intuition is so much about a feeling. Fear, our mind starts to get things complicated. Ego is very complex. It likes to pile things up on top of each other, stack up 1,000,002 reasons why we shouldn't, or why we should, because so-and-so did that. It's only right because, you know, they did that first, so payback. Yeah, we need to make sure that we quiet, that we listen, and we think, okay, what is the tone of this message? Is it quiet or is it loud? Is it simple or is it complex? Because that is the difference between your intuition and your fear. And I know for a lot of people, like I said, it's very frustrating if we're trying to make a decision and our intuition is going, it'll be okay. But that's the way intuition works. Because that intuition, that connection to source, to spirit, to God, that is a much bigger buildup of energy. Hey, Brandy, it's a much bigger buildup of energy. So it looks at things from the broader perspective, from the big overview. So it's not getting tied up in all these like little, I could fail, it might not work out, I might have to, you know, go back here or there or whatever. Hey, Angela, it's the buildup of all that. So ego will always make things complex and play out huge stories in our mind. Ego likes to have all the details mapped out, you know. If I do this, then that'll mean so-and-so will be mad at me, and then they'll never want to be my friend again, and then they're going to tell so-and-so, and then, oh my goodness, my husband's going to hear about it. And then it's got all these complex layers. Our intuition goes, it'll be okay. You're going to do it. Well, how am I going to do it? Don't worry, you will. What do I do first? Breathe. It's the most frustrating things for those of us that are living from a place of ego, that want it and want it now. Hi, Noelle. It can be incredibly frustrating if we're trying to get all the pieces together and we're trying to make it happen and we want it to happen now. I get that. But that's the way intuition really works. So next time you're going through a period where you're having kind of a thought pop into your mind, I invite you to ask yourself, is this my intuition giving me a message, or is this my ego trying to keep me stuck? Because to ego is that part of our brain that wants to keep us safe. It's the part of our brain that says, no, just fit with the crowd, stay right here, stay with the herd, stay safe. Don't go out in the cave at night because it's dark out and there could be animals, so stay right here, right here. Ego is that part of our brain that hasn't quite evolved yet. It wants to keep us safe and keep us alive. That's its purpose. I believe everything has a purpose. I don't believe that we've been punished with anything. And as many people that will say, get rid of your ego completely, I believe that's its purpose. I don't believe God or biology or whatever would give us something that we absolutely did not, you know, at one point or another need. And I believe ego is kind of like our wisdom teeth. Most of us now have to have them pulled. We don't need them anymore. But at a time when we ate grass, I think that's what I read at least, was that we use them for when we eat grass. We needed them then. Okay, we just haven't evolved out of that yet. Our ego is kind of the same. Wants to keep us alive. But what it doesn't realize is that for us now, we can step out. Now, it's safe for us to be seen. If we're seen, the lion isn't going to come get us. Now, if we're seen, we're able to help others. So making sure that you're recognizing when it's ego and when it's intuition is an invaluable tool. Because when intuition is giving you those gentle nudges, that I feel like it's time for a change. I feel like there could be a move soon. That it's simple. It's not like ego that goes, oh, I really should sell, or I really like, it's so quick and so much complex. it's simple. Yeah, well, it is amazing, because really this simplifies things in such a huge way. So if you take this and you apply this when you're getting your messages and you go, what tone is this message coming? Why am I feeling this? And you have to remember, what you tell yourself is what you'll create. Manifestation, law of attraction. If you're focusing on something bad's going to happen, yes, something bad is going to happen. And that's where people get it confused with intuition, because they go, I knew it, I knew it, knew it. Well, yeah, you knew it because you've been focusing on it the last 3 months. So instead, stop focusing on it and just allow it. I'm a firm believer that if something is really wrong, or if there's someone in my life I really shouldn't have in my life, I believe my intuition will forewarn me. And they'll say, you should probably distance yourself from that person. Or, you probably shouldn't do that. No, this feels good. This feels good. It's little gentle nudges. And like I said, that's also like communicating with spirit. I believe this is why so many people don't realize that they have the ability to communicate with spirit or to bring through insight for themselves, is because they want it to be big and loud. But it's not. It's gentle nudges. It's, the moment that all of a sudden I'm like, so-and-so's having a baby. And I'm like, oh my goodness, And then log onto my Instagram. Oh, no, not that so-and-so, but this person with the same name is having a baby. Oh, okay, cool. It can seem very complicated because we like to overcomplicate it. It is simple. Your intuition is simple, and it's quiet. So listen. This is why meditation, this is why journaling, and this is why prayer are what I always say, the fast track to tuning into your intuition. Because when you journal, like I do, where you've got pages and pages, and then I got another book that I write, pages and pages, and it doesn't take me long, so it's not like I spend all day writing, even though it looks that way. I write fast, and you will too if you journal consistently. So when you have all this, though, that you get all your thoughts out on, then those gentle nudges, they become clearer, because you notice themes, you notice things that you repeat, you notice things that come up over and over again. And you go, okay, that's my intuition. Meditation, because you're getting quiet. Prayer, because you are getting quiet. You're expressing gratitude. You are also thinking about what it is that is most important. Surrounding my family in white light and divine protection. Thank you for keeping us all happy, healthy, and safe. It's getting your mind quiet, because that is where intuition is the loudest, is when it has a quiet setting. And that is also why people who generally are caught up in chaos and live a really toxic life are generally the people that cannot hear their intuition at all. It's not that they don't have it. It's not their fault they can't hear it. They just have so much other shit going on in their head that there's no way they could hear it. But when our mind gets quiet, when it gets clear, when we have a moment, that is when the epiphanies come. That is when the big insight comes. I'll never forget the first time I knew I got a mediumship message. And it wasn't sitting down across from a client. It wasn't doing Reiki. It wasn't anything like that. I was in my kitchen cooking. And it was a connection I'll never forget. And when I told that person that that message was for, tears. And when I got to see a picture of that person, I recognized them and said, hey, that's so-and-so. And they said, yeah, how did you know that? I knew who it was because I knew. But that message did not come through in a meditation. That message did not come through in a journaling session. That message did not come through when I was intentionally trying to receive. That message came through when my mind was literally quiet while I was cooking. I was doing a routine task. Because see what happens, and I know I just said something conflicting there, saying that meditation is a great way to receive insight. Sometimes what happens though is when we want to receive it so bad, we put so much pressure on it. And pressure keeps it away, because as soon as we start building pressure, we also start building that ego and that fear. What if I don't get it? So as that builds, pushes the messages, keeps it away, it kind of blocks it. But when we're open and we don't expect it, that is when it comes through. That is when it's the strongest. So that's what I'm inviting you to do today. If there's an area in your life that you're looking for answers, that you're looking for a message, get quiet and listen to it. How does it come through? If you're having a feeling and you don't know if it's your intuition or if it's fear, stop and listen to it for a minute. Is it super complex and is it really loud? Or is it quiet but consistent? If it's quiet but consistent, it's intuition. If it's really loud, it's likely ego. That's the way that I tune into my own, that I play with that, and I invite you to do the same. Anyway, you guys, much love. I'm so excited about the way this page is growing, even though I will admit I haven't been giving it near as much attention, haven't been showing up at as many lives as I have been over in the group. If you're someone that's very interested, very tuned into your intuition, and want to learn more about that and just want a community of like-minded people, come join us over in the Boss Babes and Mystic Mamas group, especially if you're a fellow healer. It's really a group that is specifically for healers and psychics and mediums. But if you're someone where that this just kind of, aligns with you, and you're someone that lives a spiritually guided life, come over there and join us. You're welcome to come in as well. Anyway, you guys, much love to each and every one of you. I hope you're having an incredible day, and we will be chatting soon.